Welcome to Ready Set RC, and from the thumbnail, you guys can see what we have going on today. A little bit of mini, I want to say more so micro actions going on. So we have the Losi Micro B, a very hot RC for 2024, and something that I was referred to from a friend of mine, the Serpent Mini Spyder. Kind of wish they called it the Micro Spyder. Both of these are going to come in at 1/24th scale, and I'm just going to monologue really quick. I've been into the Mini Zs probably since March of 2024, and during my YouTube break, I decided to pick up these two RCs. Now, this one I picked up from one of my local hobby shops, Willis Hobbies. Now, for the Serpent Mini Spyder, I bought this online. I'll put the link in the description below. But this was only 50 bucks, which is why I decided to pick it up and see how it compared to the Micro B. Now, both of these RCs are true ready to runs. And what do I mean by that? They come with the batteries for the RC. The RCs are fully built and they are ready to go out of the box. I'm going to see if the Mini Spyder comes with a battery for the transmitter, but the Losi is going to come with everything. Let's get these things out of the box and let's see what they're all about. Wow, very simple. Some body pins, some decals, USB-C charger, and the owner's manual. Attached with some zip ties. Let's cut the zip ties out. So this transmitter is going to take 2 AA's. Battery tray is down below. Has a foam wheel, the on-off switch, throttle dual rate, throttle trim and steering trim. Throttle, the transmitter is so small. I mean, I have average size hands and I feel like I'm like the Hulk over this thing. Wow, it is small. Maybe one-handed only. And for the car, I don't know if you guys are going to see that on the camera, and I'll try to give it at this angle a little bit better. There is an extreme amount of camber on this. Wow. Yeah, no foam in the tires. The tires are rock solid. This is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. It does have proportional steering. This is the shell. Looks like it's backed with silver. Feels really good. And it has like a film on it that you can peel off. I'm just going to keep it on it for protection. And this is the RC. Not really much to scream at. So the battery, you pull it out, and there are 2 tabs that seem to be holding it in, and then it charges with the USB-C right here. On-off switch, very basic. Looks like it has Phillips hardware throughout the RC. Seems like it has a micro servo in here, but everything is contained. You'd have to pull off this top cover to get to it. I'm not pulling anything off of this RC. Only a spring in the rear, 0 shocks in the front. So not really sure what to expect. It's extremely light. We'll see how it performs. Now, if this is a rebrand of another RC that's out there, guys, put it in the comments. I'm not familiar with the other 1/24ths that are out there that may or may not share this same platform. I'd love to read what platform this shares with. I am noticing with the body on, may need to trim it back a little bit here on the rear. And the reason for that is because there seems to be a little bit of rubbing. Hopefully you guys can hear that. A little bit of rubbing right there on the rear. A bit of trimming, not much off the shell, will prevent that rubbing from happening. But let's go ahead and get the Losi Micro B out. Now, before I start ripping through the Micro B, I just wanted to state a couple things. The RC comes in 2 different colors. You can see which one I went with. I went with the one with that silver with the little bit of pink decals on there. There is a white version that's also available. This car comes with a fully proportional steering, adjustable oil-filled adjustable shocks, a 65 turn brushed motor, And it has Pro-Line racing wheels and tires. They're saying the speeds are about 13 miles per hour, and you get about a 20+ minute run time with the provided battery. So what do you get in the box? Some Allen wrenches, a hex T-wrench, 4 AA's for the transmitter, a Losi decal, a connector guide, which is basically going to tell you the different kind of connectors with the Horizon Hobby family, and the owner's manual. They also provide a USB-C charger. So you have the SLT2 transmitter. It's a 2-channel remote, 2.4 gigahertz. You have throttle, steering dual rate, steering trim. On the back side, you have the throttle limiter, which is 50, 75, and 100. And then the steering reverse. And lastly, the power switch. It takes you 4 provided AA's down below. Fairly good transmitter. I've had quite a few of these over the years. And here we are, guys, with the Losi Micro B. Looks really good. Tires, I don't know if they have foam in them, but they do feel soft. Yeah, they feel really soft. I'm going to say that they do have foam, especially if they're Pro-Line. This buggy has hex hardware throughout. Another thing I wanted to comment about, it has a aluminum chassis, which you normally don't see in this scale and price point for an RC. The body is attached with a Velcro, and it pushes through the front. Proportional steering, as I mentioned earlier. Fixed links all in the front and in the rear. The shocks are not screw down, they're actually adjusted by spacers. This also comes with a LiPo battery that I mentioned earlier, charges with a USB. And it has a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. Feels very premium in the hands. Let's get the Serpent out and let's compare the sizes. And then I'll give you guys my first thoughts between the two RCs. So here we are, guys, with the Micro B, the Mini Spyder. I'm gonna say it off the bat, guys. The Micro B feels extremely premium. It feels all the $100 or $99.99 US dollars it is worth. It truly feels that. This feels like a toy grade RC. And I'm concerned how this is going to perform its first time out. It feels very toy grade. I'm not feeling much resistance here on the drive, so I really question what that's going to feel like. The grip on the tires are extremely firm, and that camber, wow. And it can't be adjusted. This camber cannot be adjusted. Only way that you can adjust that is by putting some heat to the arms and kind of flexing them out a little bit. But there is no way to adjust that camber. It's, this is an interesting one. With the Losi, everything is fixed, but part support for this is a little bit more readily available. There are several companies that provide third-party support for this one. $50 more, but I am feeling all the $50 in this. I mean, maybe we'll see. I'm going to take this. Maybe we'll see once we take these things out. The Serpent will change my mind on its performance, but I've owned a lot of RCs, and you guys who have seen me on the channel, you know what I have, and I can kind of tell off the bat when I see something for the first time, right out of the box, how it's going to perform. Yeah, this is truly independent suspension on all 4 corners. I can feel that friction when I'm driving it. I mean, when I'm driving it over my hands, I can feel the friction of the drive. These are almost like free spinning. And I'll take it with the same speed with the Losi too, so you guys see it. I'll even go faster. Yeah, there's a lot more friction there, which is telling me that's not going to be too fast. But We'll put some packs in it. I'll take these things out when I get to my local track, see how they perform. If I don't get a chance to get them on the local track, you guys will see it on my test track here in my home. But some way, somehow, you guys are going to see the running video. For you guys, it'll probably be seconds. For me, it's most likely going to be days. So I went ahead and took both cars out to a local hobby shop on Long Island, Island Hobby Nut. It's where I like to drive my Mini Zs. And I figured it'd be a great course to take these micro RCs out and have some fun with them. We had a blast. We set up some ramps. This thing was hitting the ramps off perfect. I had a buddy of mine also show up to the hobby shop. Ivan, thank you. To come and help me out with doing some recording, and we were enjoying this. I gave him the sticks, he's running it a little bit, and then I took the sticks and I'm running it a little bit. This thing is a great little micro buggy to run. It hits the jumps well, it takes the turns well, it's pretty quick on the track. It was holding, actually was blowing by some of the Mini Zs that are out there, and these are stock Mini Zs. They're not brushless. They're not severely hopped up, and the Micro B was just blowing past them. Gotta say, guys, it truly surprised me how well that Micro B performs, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Mini Z tracks start having an event with these Micro Bs in there because they perform well. If your local track's not running them, it will be soon, because once Horizon Hobby is able to get more inventory out to get these cars in a lot of people's hands, I can definitely see that there's going to be some track time with this RC. We then took out the Serpent, and I will have to say the Serpent was a little lackluster on the track. It wasn't so good. We may have hit the sticks tops 2 minutes each, and we were not impressed with the Serpent on the track. But then I took the Serpent home, and I was putting around my house with it, and you would think these hard tires and with zero adjustment to this camber and pretty much very little suspension. As I mentioned earlier, it only has a spring in the rear. There are no shocks in the front. So this thing's a very firm ride. And as I said, I brought it home, ripped it around the house, and I will say, guys, indoor house basher, this thing is very good. But then I stepped it up a notch. You guys can see, I took this outside, had this hit the micro and mini jumps that I have set up, and it performed very well. Even drove it on the grass, and it redeemed itself. I have to say that this little buggy redeemed itself for 50 bucks. It is not bad to go outside and putt around on some hard surfaces, or even just putt around your house. And the other piece of it, this car has a gyro. For 50 bucks, they threw a gyro in this car. And you guys can see it there, it moving left and right, the gyro moving around. There's no adjustments on the controller for it, but it has a gyro built in. Very fun RC for $50. Is it super quick? No, but it is fun. It is a lot of fun. So closing this video out, guys, which one do I prefer more? It all depends on where do you plan on running these RCs. For me, the 100 bucks, running it on a track, $50 less, or sometimes $100 less than a Mini Z, not a bad option, especially if there are events and you plan on racing. Bashing around, perfect on the Mini Z course. Most tracks that do have these, they're gonna set up little jumps, and you're going to be able to hit the little jumps on them, and it is perfect for it. It handles so well, it performs very well. Now with the Serpent, if you're trying to do track racing with it, it's not going to work for you. Taking this thing outdoors on some hard surfaces, taking this thing around your house is going to be where this thing is going to shine. It's not going to say that the Mini Z is not good for that. It is, but for 50 bucks, you get a gyro, You get an RC that can putt around the house, which may be something that you want to do in these cold months. This thing is perfect for it. It handles very well. You would be surprised with the limited adjustments to the suspension, the limited adjustments to its camber that you would think it would. And with these hard and firm tires, it actually has decent traction too. So I would say it's worth a buy as well. Put it down in the comments, guys. Which one would you prefer? Which one would you see yourself getting the most time out of? I read all the comments and I respond to most. I'd love to see what you guys think down in the comments below. But we're going to leave it here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for the latest posts of the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.